All right. Let's say you are given an expression just like this one, number 2. Simplify x squared plus 7x plus 6 over x squared minus 6. So what you do, let's write it. So this expression you just factorize. Factorize your numerator and factorize your denominator. So we have x squared plus 7x plus 6 over x squared minus 36. So here we have quadratic expression is our numerator and is our denominator. So what are we going to do? We can factorize the numerator, we can also factorize the denominator, because you can see this is a difference of 2 squares, your denominator x squared minus 36. Okay, so let's factorize our numerator. I'm sure you know how to factorize this part. So that's x squared plus 7x plus 6. So you multiply the first expression and the last one to get 6x squared. Now let's look for the factors such that if we multiply these factors, the product will give us 6x squared, and if we add the sum will give us 7x. So what are these factors? So you write down. So if you multiply 6x times x, you are going to get 6x squared. If you add these 6x plus x, you are going to get 7x. So you write all the factors of 6 here so that you can see which one is the right one. Okay, so we can see it's 6x and x. So you take 6x and x, you put them where there is 7x. So let's do this. So x squared plus 6x plus x. So I said my factors is 6x and x, because if I multiply 6x and x, I'm getting 6x squared. If I add 6x and x, I'm getting 7x, right? Okay, so we take these factors, we put them here where there is 7x. So now let's do this. So now I'm putting 6x and x, my factors, where there is 7x, and we have plus 6 here. Okay, so now let me have this part. So I'm now factorizing by parts, and now let me have the last part. So on this x squared plus 6x, what is common? I can see I have x here, I have also x here. So x is common in both. So now let me factor out x. So if I factor out x here, it means I'm putting x outside. So if I divide with x squared, it means I have 2 x's. So if I factor out x, I will divide with x, right? Which means I'm going to have 1x in this bracket. So this bracket we have x. Then here the other x will go, so it will be plus 6. So this first bracket and the second bracket must be the same. So I can factor out plus 1 to have x plus 6. So I have 2 brackets which are the same. So I can take 1. So x plus 6, and the other one will be x plus 1. This is my factorized expression of this part. So now let's come back here. I have factorized this part to have x plus 6 and now x plus 1 after factorizing the numerator. So now let me factorize my denominator. What can I do here? Okay, you see, when you see x squared minus a perfect square, but before this, let us see what are perfect squares. Only when we have perfect squares, we can do difference of two squares. So if I multiply two numbers, like 1 times 1, the answer I am getting is a perfect square. So let me say 1 times 1, it is equal to 1. 2 times 2 is equal to 4. 3 times 3 is equal to 9. So you see, I'm multiplying 1 and 1, I'm multiplying 2 and 2. These numbers are the same. So the answers I'm getting here, I call them perfect squares. Because if I try to find the square root of 1 is equal to 1. It's a number without, it's giving me exact number. This number is exact, no comma, no decimal. Okay, square root of 4 will give me what? 2. Square root of 9 will give me 3. So these four are the perfect squares. Even if I multiply 10 times 10, it will give me 100. So 100 is a perfect square. So it means I can also write 100 as 10 squared. You know, 10 squared means 10 times 10. So 10 squared is the same as 100. 9, I can write what? 3 squared. It means 3 times 3. 4, I can write it as 2 squared. 1, I can write it as 1 squared. So how can we deal with perfect squares? I will explain. So let's say, for example, you have x squared minus 4, and you must factorize this. What can you do? You see, you can write 4 as 2 squared. So let me write x squared minus 2 squared. Now, x squared means I have 2 x's. So this is my x, this is my x. Minus 2 squared means I also have 2 numbers, 2 and 2. I have 2 and 2. So the other 2 is positive, the other 2 is negative. The signs are different. If I have minus 2 squared, the other one is positive, the other one is negative. So this is how I factorized. This is now a factorized expression, such that if you expand this, you will go back to this first one. So factorization and expansion are the opposites. Okay, so now let's come back here. Let me factorize x squared minus 36. This one, x squared minus 36. So I have x squared 36, it means 6 times 6. 6 times 6 is the same as 6 squared. 6 squared just 6 times 6. So now it means I have x squared means I have 2 x's. So this x and this x. Minus 6 squared, it means I have a positive 6 and a negative 6. So I put the brackets. So this is now the factorized form. So to factorize, I'm applying the brackets. I'm putting the brackets. Now expansion, I will remove the brackets and it will give me this answer. So after factorizing x squared minus 36, I'm getting this. X plus 6 and x minus 6. Okay, let me remove this part. So now let's see. This is now my factorized numerator. This is now my factorized denominator. So let's see. I can cancel out something here. X plus 6 and x plus 6. They will cancel each other. So what is the remaining part? I have x plus 1 over x minus 6. So this is my final answer. Just as simple as this. So guys, please watch my video. Please subscribe and like. Please like my video and subscribe. Also, you can comment whatever topic you want me to explain. I can. You can give me the questions. I can work them out on YouTube. I can show you. Okay, so let me work out the last equation. I have 1 over a squared minus 3a plus 2. A squared minus 3a plus 2 divided by 1 over 1 minus a. Okay, I have this expression here. So the first step is to remove this division sign. Whether you are dealing with algebraic fractions, normal fractions, if you have a division sign, you remove it, you replace it with multiplication sign. So what am I going to do now? Okay, the first step, let me just remove the division sign. So I replace it with the multiplication sign. So if I do this, I have to invert. Let my denominator be the numerator and my numerator be my denominator. So now I have 1 minus a over 1. So what to do now? The next part, we factorize this. So it will be 1 over. So how can I factorize a squared minus 3a plus 2? I told you guys how to factorize that part. So I have a squared minus 3a plus 2. Let me multiply 2a squared. So what are the factors now? If I multiply, I will just quick here. If I multiply minus 2 and minus 1, I will get 2. If I add minus 2 minus 1, it will give me minus 3a. So my answer here will be a minus 2, a minus 1. So if I multiply this, I'm getting this answer. Alright, so this is 1 over this times 1 minus a over 1. So what can I do now? Alright, so I have 1 minus a and a minus 1. So I need to cancel out something. So what can I do first? Let me factor out a negative. So 1 over a minus 2 bracket. If I factor out a negative, I will have 1 minus a times 1 minus a over 1. So 1 minus a and 1 minus a will cancel out. So I will have 1 over. So this negative will multiply this part. So it will be, I can say 2 minus a. 1 over 2 minus a times this side is 1. So my answer is 1 over 2 minus a. So this is our last question. Please watch my videos. All of these questions, I will provide more questions. Please subscribe. Thank you guys.